Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So, that entry slide, an abundance of low quality patterns, some more so than others. But as I look around things, there's as far as the markets go and the sectors, I see little to no opportunities. Different stocks are set up some very nicely, but like the S&P here, it's in an uptrend. It's short-term extended. Um, this just while we would assume it will continue to go higher since the trend is up in multiple time frames, even though it's stalled here, and we got a little minor topping tail on the weekly time frame, which would suggest, at a minimum, some sideways slop for a little while to digest this gain. It is possible, I think maybe probable, that we can get this gap filled here, down below. We'll see how that shapes up in the coming days. Spiders right now are, and I still didn't get figure out why this isn't updating pre-market. Show me what it is. But anyway, it's at 544.42, basically down a fraction, a little bit close to unchanged from last week's close on Friday. But it's retraced almost down toward the bottom of this wide range bar. And what we look for, after a wide range bar is that the closes stay in the upper half, it can dip down. So it's a little bit below that, give or take. We'll see if it can regroup here, what it's going to do today, of course, or whether it inches down toward the bottom here. But generally speaking, wide range bars, after little consolidations like that, you want to see it stay in the upper 50% and then it continue to go higher. After it's moved up as much as it has, it's a lower probability that would happen. But still, nonetheless, at this point, we've got a pivot low down here, which raises our reference point of major support, to that level. So significant support down there, around that 530, give or take. The 20 is a little higher. Congestion there. So lots of support there. And the unfilled gap just above. And you can see on the hourly chart, this little consolidation right there, those bars that are overlapping. So breaking below there, the next stop should be the filling of the gap and probably a little lower. As of right now, still pivot lows, pivot highs. It's in the middle of a trading range, basically going nowhere. So nothing attractive here as far as S&P to do anything. No setup, even though it's still in an uptrend. I'll give you SPX and we'll move on to the others. Getting tighter, as markets get tighter. What does that mean? As the ranges get tighter in a certain area, these strikes get a lot tighter. Whereas when we get big moves, which is what makes this zero DTE vehicle very attractive, to get on the other side of those big moves, because once you get a big move up or down, these strikes get far apart from, the current close. So here, as you can see, as we've had in other times, it's kind of right in the middle and really within striking distance. I look at the average true range, which is now contracting. It's around 38 points. So 38 points, give or take, from this close, it's still, you're on the other side. But this one, being that the trend is up to the extent that it is, and it's at a whole number, I find that to be more attractive, around a whole number. And if the markets should blip up a little bit at the open and you can get 55.05, that would be even better. So keep that in mind. The Qs, let's see what I have here. Qs are moving lower as I speak. 478. So down a couple of points at, at the bottom of that wide range bar, and on support 478, 478. So coming right into this congestion on the hourly chart. So we'll see what it does there, but it's clear on either chart, but you can see what you have here is a wide range bar up, and now it's retracing all the way back down, and that's a bearish pattern within an uptrend. It's not at support yet, so it doesn't offer any high probability patterns as far as considering longs, because what we want to see is this come down, is another unfilled gap somewhere in here, ideally, where we can get a turn for a long setup. It's not there. It's in the middle of nowhere, so nothing attractive here to do anything. The Dow, which kind of led last week, was the stronger. But what a mess, a collapse down, wide range bar, retest bottoming tail bar. And Alex, don't get excited. I'm going to draw some diagonal lines here just to make my point. No trend lines. Point being, as I look at this little uptrend there, you know what I'm trying to do here, duplicate this. And I don't know where it put it. Did it put it right on top? No. Wherever it did, put that. There we go. Is that like a really sloppy bear flag that is in development mode? And you can see that this bar right here is these overlapping bars. There's some congestion there, which you can see over here. But the strength of that move, the little consolidation on Friday. I'll see where this is at. We can look at the futures, but maybe this could move back up. Right? So, like with any pattern, you need confirmation. And so, while this is a sloppy kind of bear flag, it's in the middle of the pole where it should roll back over again. We don't have any kind of a turn yet, so nothing attractive there either. Just internals quickly. Sentiment is pushing up to a bearish extreme. Breadth is still down here at, well, it would be a bullish. It's not as extreme as it was, but it's below zero. You got certain markets showing strength, certain markets at new all-time highs, and you got breadth below zero. Clearly, that's not a healthy market. But as we look at different sectors or indices, and we see like the Dow looking like this, that there's underperformance. Transports came back from driving over the cliff and came back up. It's in resistance. We'll see if this rolls back over. And of course, we're going to want to keep an eye on financials, which showed some relative strength last week, but still in the middle of nowhere. Another mess. Software. This is encouraging, though. It's 100% retracement. So a power move. If this can go sideways here a little bit, this might be something that can start to lift this sector and maybe other stocks. But the strength here is encouraging. Well, we have a lot of other things that just are unattractive whatsoever. You got regionals that are down at the bottom as well. So far, they're holding the support. No pattern here that suggests doing anything whatsoever. Just looking at a few others here, and just making the point that of the beginning entry slide, an abundance of unattractive patterns or low quality patterns, and you can see the same thing here. Pivot, just a lot of overlapping bars. How do we define low quality? A lot of overlapping bars, wide bars overlapping, tails, gaps, just uncertainty, just screaming, stay away. Energy starting to make a turn here, deep retracement. We'll take a look at crude oil, which took out some resistance last week, but this is worth considering, maybe buying a little dip, a little starter position. Not everything looks so attractive. OIH, which performed well. And a lot of things that performed well percentage-wise at the end of last week are still unattractive patterns. So if you sort your minder by weekly percent change, there were a lot of things that outperformed percentage-wise, but the patterns are still unattractive. This is still in a downtrend. But early buying. Looking at crude oil, you can see, the breakdown. Certainly looked like it was going to head down here, but buyers stepped in ahead of that support. So more aggressive, a little more confidence, that obviously is trending down. It accelerates. It looks like it's going to go down to that major support, and they buy in aggressively, pushing it above that resistance. So kind of what I coin as a schizophrenic kind of a pattern. Nonetheless, that power move suggests it'll go higher after some consolidation. Interest rates, grinding lower, up a little bit here this morning, but, wide range bar down in the bottom half of that suggested it's going to go lower. Interesting. Well, there's been so much talk about this cutting the Fed funds rate. I don't know if I have a line chart here. Maybe not. But if you just look at this break here, this dropped at the end of last week as we got renewed confidence of a rate cut. And so the short-term treasury bills, dipping down is an indication of greater confidence, but it can come back up again. But, right now, renewed confidence in a rate cut September or so, maybe later. We'll see how that unfolds. Semiconductors pulling back, extremely strong trend. Gap fill. NVIDIA gave back some last week, some other semis. So definitely in need of some correction, but strong uptrends. This is where all the buyers are stepping in. Gold is doing absolutely nothing. Whether it's going to roll over here or move back up, another low quality pattern offering zero other than a commission generator from that time frame. Silver, low quality pattern, overlapping bars back and forth. Oh, it's going to go up. Oh, wait. No, it's going to go down. Maybe it's going to do nothing. Bitcoin. It looked like it was going to go up. It couldn't. Now back down to support. Dan posted something to me early this morning about some news. Anyway, this is back down to, we're close to the bottom of the range. And a little alert going off there. Wide range bar. It's been trending down. Buyers should step up in this area, 60,000, give or take. We'll see if that's in the cards, whether they can begin to regroup. Again, low quality pattern there as well. The Russell, just another low quality pattern, just a mess of overlapping candles. Which way is it going to go? I don't know. Take your guess any given day. And nothing different as we look around here. I mean, let's take a peek at the futures here. Doing nothing. Maybe this can continue to move up. It's got a void. We'll see how things play out. Russell futures, I'm not going to repeat it. Qs, down a bit. They need to come in a little more. They're grinding down. And just look at the way it's coming down. They'll blip up, down, blip up, and so on. It's just kind of stair-stepping in a nasty, nasty, nasty way. Lower. Eventually it would make sense for this. As comes down, the 20 comes up a little bit. At some point, they meet, ideally, somewhere near some price support. We'll see how that unfolds. And S&Ps coming down a little slower, low quality patterns intraday here. So this is what we have for the moment. we'll see how these unfold. Now, there are individual stocks with some very nice patterns. So the concern is, if the markets are choppy, grinding, maybe in a corrective manner, they were mostly long patterns, over the weekend. And will they follow through or not? You don't know. Take the trade, see what happens. So I think that's it for me, Dan. The dollar, it was interesting. Well, it'd be interesting to see what the dollar does now, because the dollar typically it's been strong, and it broke out above these highs here. And what the 13-week comes down, typically that puts a little downward pressure. But with other countries lowering interest rates, the euro, came down a little bit. But look, the theme is most, whether it's currencies, indices, sectors, the patterns are erratic and not advantageous for getting involved with in at least the daily time frame. So, to you, Dan.
Good morning. So I agree. There's, crazy patterns everywhere, but I think we have a lot of beautiful ones in our radar. But that's what we do. We use our approach to find the best, and we trade those stocks and options. A lot of bottoming patterns out there. This is one right here, Kyle, that we're in. And so Greg was talking about that. Maybe, bottoming patterns playing catch up if Brett wants to expand. But this is one we're still in. Looks great. This Wednesday we'll be MT Live talking about bottoming patterns, and this is a perfect one. You had a breakout from an inverse head and shoulder. You had a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 price void. We sold some in the strength, and we're trailing it. UPC rolls asking, yeah, it's a sell setup, sure. Let me put that one in. I'm not crazy about swinging stocks under $7, but let's set an alarm at 6:09, and that could be start off with a day trade. Right, I don't have any earning stocks, but I got a big watch list. Let me type these out, actually. I'm gonna go through my alarms here first, and then I'll look at those. Fast alarm went off, and I lost my 15-minute chart. Well, I have it here, so I don't know what's up with fast, but my alarm went off. And what's this? Another bottoming pattern. Look at that. Big move off the low. It's just a little pseudo inverse head and shoulder. Let's see. Greg mentioned USM. Yes. Yeah, let's set an alarm at 53.30. So that's a buy setup with what we kind of call the second go around. And even I was thinking about that, Greg, but it might be too complicated. Yeah, we'll just throw them in the buy setups. But when you have a buy setup that triggers and fails and goes a little bit lower and then gives you a nice reversal, we call that the second time around. But yeah, they're not as often. All right, triple M alarm. Now it's not a bottoming pattern because it's in an uptrend, but it's a consolidation with a 1, 2, 3. So that looks good. Carvana, same. It's a consolidation at the rising 50. So that looks good over the highs. I think I have that as a put spread idea. Nike, I have as an earnings idea. I'm shorting the $90 puts. Earnings are the 27th, 3 days. I guess had Tesla alarm go off. This is a big, multi-week trading range. But look, you got flat 20, flat 50. We were talking about this Friday. We had upside shakeout, downside shakeout. But I said, I give the benefit to the bullish side right here. And now my up alarm went off. So, so let's watch that at the open. That looks really good. Baxter alarm, bottoming pattern. MGM alarm, bottoming pattern with a 1, 2, 3. That looks great. Buy that over the high. It's a bottoming pattern. That's what we're going to be teaching you, quality ones. Target alarm just went off. Bottoming pattern. Bullish retest on major support. Bottoming pattern. Now, see, this one's a little different because you still got declining 20, declining 50. For a true bottoming pattern, I like those to flatten out. So this one's only a put spread idea. So watch all these at the open because my alarms went off pre-market. Actually, let's look at yours now. I have no interest in this. Actually, you got declining 20, you got lower highs. It's a consolidation after making a lower low. I think all the ones I just reviewed for you are much better candidates. SFM. I like the gap up. I just don't think it's ready yet. No, Steve, that would be kind of, anything can be done programming it. You just say, you tell the computer, hey, 10 o'clock, what's the high of the day? Give me the alarm a penny over it, but I surely don't know the way. All right, GE, yeah, that's on my list. I got an alarm. So it's a deep move, makes that a downside shakeout. And it's it's got 3 inside bars holding up for 40%. So I forget where my alarm is, but let me just set it again. I'll do my other computer. I'll set it at 165. All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, 165. That's right. It's 164 now. So AGC. It's a little bit similar to Greg's USM, but USM is superior. You see the difference of these two? This one's just it's more fluid here. It's a cleaner retest. You see? So that this one's it's too messy. Casey, there's really no pattern. You got a lot of consolidation in this igniting gap, but it's also a bear 1, 2, 3. It's not a quality one because it's on an uptrend. So I'm assuming you're thinking long, but I don't think that's ready. Sierra Bravo. I just don't, it looks fine to buy setup with a 1, 2, 3. I'm just not sure how big the target will be, but it's fine. Hood. It's gapping down with Bitcoin, but I like it if it can recover. I'll set an alarm at 2220 for now. Yeah, I read in the news this IBIT, somebody was saying the reason Bitcoin is down is because they had a big liquidation from this ETF. You know, whether that's it, who knows, but that's what I heard. But yeah, Bitcoin's obviously down. Ah, look at Greg. Says it has a opening range breakout. Cool.
Some people use that as a strategy, and they set it 1 minute, 5 minute, whatever. So I don't know if there is. I know there's as a strategy. I don't know if there's an indicator called that. I mean, there are things I know, like in eSignal, like I can set that up, but every platform is different.
All right. All right, RMD was on the news, gapping down here. So I put it in this middle chart. Keep an eye on it. So it's a medical or bio or something like that. ALNY, obviously news. That's a massive gap up. Charlie Lima alarm just went off. Oh, good. This is one we're in. We're long already. We're in trail mode. So now let me just set a higher alarm, 9850. Ah, that's because it hit that was a third target, is why that alarm just went off. So we're going to get a higher target at the open. Let me actually fix that then. With plus gap, so 1/3 at open. And we will now move the stop under this. 96.78. Google up alarm. UEC low alarm, so that was Raoul's. But Google, we were trying to do a put spread on Friday, and I wanted price improvement, and we did not get it, unfortunately. But Google, that's a breakout. That's a breakout. All-time highs. Looks great. Yeah, IBM's on my list here. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Hold on. Let me update Charlie Lima. USM spot alarm. That's yours, Alex. USM. Yes, I'm not doing anything that's not ready. A Zulu golf alarm. Looks great. A Zulu. Zulu and Zulu golf, I think, are related. So Zulu looks great. IBM, yeah, it's another bottoming pattern, which we did trade the other day, I think, with short puts. General Motors up alarm. Ah, nice out at a third on Charlie Lima right at the open. See that? Nice. So opening price $98. So we exceeded our target. All right, I just gotta focus on all these alarms that are going off. Um, is it? Yeah, I gave that as a put spread. Let me show you what I gave. Tandem up alarm. I don't remember that one. Hood up alarm. So that means it's recovering. Tandem. This could be a 30-minute high trade. I don't trust the turn yet. So let's come back to this. IBM. Yeah, IBM. Yeah, looks higher. Might go to 180, low 180s. Looks good. Yeah. In fact, let me see if we can do a put spread too. Our Fox F from last week, new high. General Motors. I forget what trade I gave on this. Disney. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna be way behind on alerts. That's normal, particularly Mondays. IBM. Is there any juice at 170? 170's 12 cents is all. Ridiculously small. All right, Hood, it looks good. I guess not gonna trade in the first 5 minutes here. Let's Q's, rebounding here. Tesla ripping, Meta, this Apple. I'm assuming the news came out Friday and it's right before the close about them, the EU coming after them. But that was a nasty drop right there into the close. And W, yeah. Yeah, I gave that as a put spread, but directional looks good too. All right, wait, maybe I did get directional. Gave more trades than I actually expected with all the junk out there. Yeah, this was a put spread. All right, so if you get filled, it's good to go. Disney bottoming pattern. So that Disney triggered. Disney. Oh, I gave the calls by the 101 calls on Disney. Yeah, they're too spreading. So let's just do some. Disney 102.55. Back to all right, Carvana is good to go. It's posted. That was a put spread. A Ruger up alarm. We're in this short. Let's tighten the stop right here. 4202. Yeah, LDOS, yep, like triggered. All right, back to the hood. Okay, so now, what? Now let's buy it over 22.33. Oh, that is ripping here. Florida, yeah. Yeah, I have an alarm up here, I think at 26. I was gonna put that in the letter, but the deeper tracement. Greg, are you talking or echo? What's going on?
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything.
All right, I'm here. All right. SYY alarm.
Shop above this 5 minute high. At least
Yep,
the day trade. If not, it could go up, kind of buy setup on the daily.
sure. Yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful day trade, 5 minute high, sure. Florida, there, 25.90. That's the alarm I had. Maybe 30 minute high. Four horsemen are all over the place here today.
ED line is pretty strong for markets whipping back and forth.
Triple M triggering. Buy 101 calls. Let's make sure they're not spreading. Yeah, too spreading. So 245. Yeah, it's a strong 15 minute chart. Wow, oil ETFs here moving. Look at this 15 minute bar. Oh, OIH. Transports, bottoming pattern. I looked for a put spread, but there's no juice over there and there's no weeklies. All right, so Tesla looks great. If it closes like this, we can buy a half lot into the close. Netflix falling pretty hard. Meta. So this was a 180 and an uptrend at the 20. Let's watch that on a pullback. So Apple, Microsoft pulling in, Amazon up alarm went off, but it's coming in. So Tesla, Google's coming in, but that's a 1, 2, 3 that closes like this. So the best new ones are Meta and Tesla on a pullback in the FANG department. IWM doing good, gapping over red bar. Very cheap. I'm saying by 47 calls. Yeah, so this one was better priced. I mean, tighter spreads is what I meant. No, Greg actually gave spot. Oh, it's a put spread. Okay, so that definitely got filled. Spot 65. Let's see, I wanted 105, 100 for 75. They're spreading. Yeah, this is too spready, darn it. It didn't get filled anyway, but the pattern looks great for a foot spread. I also gave GM as a foot spread. Gave diamonds over 393.11, so that has not triggered yet. AMD, that's not triggering, but I don't think it will. With SMH week, XAR continuation, but no price void or pattern. LOW I gave as a put spread, has not triggered. RCL 147, 142. Midpoint is 62. I went at 65, so that RCL is a go. Trump too. MRX. Yeah, yeah, it's right at this prior high, but if it can go sideways, I like it better. Let's our here's my Trump. All right, let's RMD doing anything. Wow, that's ugly. All right, let me put AMRX instead of Trump. Trump, I gave 30-minute high put spread, a gap from a climber. KYF. This one's hard for me to type. KF1. Not crazy about it myself. The way it came down. No, Amrex looks good. I guess I'm gonna watch for a pullback. Q's at the low.
Support's relatively close by. I don't see any advantage here. IWM, new high on the day. But that resistance isn't far either.
Diamonds triggered, put spread. Let me see if we're gonna get filled. Florida. Yeah, looks good. Yeah, I like it. Let's put it down here. Watch you pull back on that too. Ease alarm bottoming pattern. Let's see if it can close like that.
Walgreens is bottoming.
What's that? WAB? No, that's WAB tech. No, WB. There you go. Yeah. That's a good idea. Look at the cousin. I don't know. This one just looks like dead money. I know, that's what I was asking Greg. Let me, okay,